Thank you for joining me today. I'm Joshua Slater, the IT Handyman. Today we're going to go over phishing. No, I'm not talking about fishing with a rod and reel where you cast it out into the lake and try to reel in some fish. No, I'm not talking about that kind of fishing today. I'm talking about the digital attacks called phishing. Phishing is a tool that is used by hackers in order to gather information so that they can get into a resource that they're trying to get into. Most common, they're trying to get into corporate so that they could take the corporate information and sell it or use it for their own means. The way that they do this is by reaching out to various people or organizations so that they could try to get bits and pieces of information. Think about it like a jigsaw puzzle. They use multiple pieces of information from various different sites and they put it all together to get a more firm picture of what's going on. They take information from here, here, and here that seem almost like it's nothing, a name here, a date here, or something, and they put it all together and then they start narrowing their attacks to a more targeted group. So phishing has a few different tools that they use. One of the most common ones is an email. An email that they send out that looks like it's a legitimate email, but there might be a few things that are slightly off about it, or something that's asking you to do something that you're not normally doing, like click on a link or reply back to this email with this information, just so they could try to get information from you. The links that they send to you also are a lot along the lines of they set up dummy web pages that look very similar to the real web page, just so that you could start to put information in so they can capture it, like your username and password, your social security information, your mother's maiden name, all that kind of stuff. The way around this is anytime I get an email from like my bank or company or whatever that says click on this link, I don't click on the link. I just go to the web page, type it into the computer myself, and go to the web page and navigate to where it's telling me to go just to verify. And there has been a few times where I'm like, I don't see any notifications or information anywhere about this email. That's usually how I can tell it's phishing. You could also call to verify, because honestly, you should never get an email that asks you to disclose information over the internet. That is wrong. Do not do that at all, ever. Not sure if I made that clear. A few other phishing types of attacks, they put malicious software into cookies, which are bits of data that are downloaded from the websites that you visit. So they could put a malicious cookie on a website. You happen to go to that website or click on a link or let a picture load or an ad loads or something, and it loads a cookie onto your computer that is actually malware. And what the malware does is it does what it's programmed for, usually capturing your keyboard strokes or capturing web page information that you go to, or even just looking through your computer for specifically targeted keywords so that they could get that information from you. A couple of other ways, and I'm pretty sure everyone here has had this kind of experience where social media sites have been hacked by your friends, or you get some random stranger who doesn't have much on their social media saying, I want to get to know you better. These are usually phishing attacks, especially if there's almost nothing about this individual online. That's probably because they're a made-up person. Some 40-year-old dude is pretending to be a 16-year-old girl trying to get information from you. Yes, that is a complete generalistic, and no, that is not necessarily who is talking to you. It could be legitimate. But over social media, never ever give your information out. If your mom reaches out to you and says, hey honey, I need you to remind me what your social security number is, call her. There's no reason you need to reply over internet about that information unless it's on a secure website. If you go to specific websites like your bank information and whatnot, you'll have the HTTPS, which is a secure site. And it's a site that you've gone to and vetted a few times already. Social media is one of the prime things used to hack. Phishing attacks don't necessarily have to be where they're actually targeting you for information either. It could be if you're on Facebook or on MySpace or whatever is out there nowadays, and your profile is open to the public, they can actually just review your information and get a lot of information there. For example, a lot of people don't realize this, but you put your birthday, and most people live in the cities and states that they were born in, so that information being available to the public, that's two pieces of information to get credit information from you. And your full name is on there, and your email. And sometimes people put on their home address, which, by the way, there's plenty of resources out there to find your home address, so I wouldn't freak out too much about that. Just don't put it out there easily accessible. Make the person work for it. So I've gone over emails, I've gone over malware, which comes from like cookies or software that you install, especially if you go to those download sites and you download a video game or whatever and it wants to install extra stuff. I've gone over social media phishing. There's another phishing attack out there that more recently known, and it's called a CEO fraud scam. What that is when you receive an email or a text message from someone who is of a higher authority than you to ask you to do something. For example, your director sends you a text message saying, hey, I need you to wire $15,000 from the corporate account to this bank account right away. I'm in the middle of a meeting. Don't call me. I'm not going to be able to answer. Unless that's how you're instructed to do stuff, don't. Call them, get information, verify that that's what they want, because it's usually really odd to get a text that way. Usually you're going to get called, and I can't really think of any situation where someone's going to want to get an immediate $15,000 transfer that can't handle a phone call. And trust me, if I was in charge and sent a text message like that and my employee called me just to verify because they were afraid it was a CEO fraud scam, I would thank them. And if you're one of those people that don't thank your employees for that kind of thing, shame on you. You deserve to get $15,000 stolen from you. Just saying. So phishing can come in many different forms, and don't assume that we've seen all the forms that are out there. If it's digital, it can be recreated. There's nothing saying that a picture can't be redone in a different scenario, or a website can't be remade, or something like that. If there's a way to digitally do something normal, like text message for example, there is a way for them to clone it and make it look real for them to get information or for them to get what they want. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe if you like the videos and want to see more of it. YouTube and Patreon are also linked below, as well as our social media and our websites. Send any questions you may have to contact@slatecomp.com and we'll be happy to review them and get back with you. Thank you and join us again. We'll have some fun. No. Your face would see that.
Okay, put it on the video. This is what the producer has to deal with all the time.
Oh. IT is so hard.
I'm gonna put that in.
You should.
All right. Good. All right. Action.